Emo music. What words do you typically associate with this genre? Sad? Lonely? Gerard Way's fabulous hair, perhaps? But what if we were to dig just a bit deeper? What if there was a way to objectively determine the most popular words in the emo genre? Hi, I'm Fender Fox. I just analyzed over 4,000 songs to determine emo music's favorite word. So, first things first, what is emo? While the genre doesn't have an official definition, it is generally classified as a subgenre of rock, known for its emotional, often confessional lyrics. Pioneered by bands like Rites of Spring and Embrace in the 1980s, the genre rose to prominence in the 90s, spawning its own subgenres such as Midwest emo and screamo. Prominent emo bands include My Chemical Romance, Paramore, Fall Out Boy, and Panic at the Disco. For this experiment, I gathered a list of 40 bands that I believe best represent the genre. Everything from My Chemical Romance to American Football, Pure Seville to All Time Low. But where was I going to find the lyrics for all these songs? No. There's no way I'm looking up all those songs by hand. What am I, a machine? There had to be a better way.
There's gotta be a better way!
So it turns out that everyone's favorite lyrics database has a Python API called Lyrics Genius. All you have to do is register through their website and you can use it to download the lyrics of any song on Genius's database. With this, I was able to download the entire discography of every band on my list for a total of 4,400 songs and over 1 million words. And with that, it was time to start the analysis. For this, I wrote a program that goes to the dataset word for word, keeping a running tally of every word and how many times it's appeared. I then sorted the results to find that the number one word was the.
Boring!
In fact, the entire top 20 was pretty underwhelming. Was the entire experiment a dud?
No!
There had to be a better way.
There's got to be a better way!
So, in natural language processing, there's a term known as a stop word. These are words that overall lack semantic value and are usually skipped over when processing language data. Words like this, that, a. In order to filter out my dataset, I used a Python library known as a Natural Language Toolkit, which contains the most comprehensive list of stop words I could find. Using this, I was able to filter out all the boring words that no one really cares about, and with that, I finally had something worth talking about. So, without further ado, the top 10 words in the emo genre are...
No way!
Now, that's pretty good, but I still feel like we can make things more interesting. What do people in emo songs do? What are their favorite descriptions? What are the most prevalent themes and ideas? What if we were to find the top 10 words for each different part of speech? Now, there was no objective way to do this since words are so versatile, but I tried my best to sort out all the words into one or two primary categories. With that said, the top 10 nouns in the emo genre are...
World.
The top 10 verbs are... The top 10 adjectives are
Gone, gone, gone. Lost, 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 good, good, long, 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 better, better, long, long, every day, every day, every day. Right, one and lonely.
And the top 10 adverbs are
Forever, please, please, oh please. Yeah, now I'm sick. Run, always, always have fun.
wow, that's a lot of heavy words there. Emo singers sure love to look into your eyes and sing from the heart about how they'll never come back and how it's time to let go. A lot of superlatives too. Never, forever, always. So dramatic. I was a bit surprised the word tonight didn't show up.
They want to listen to emo songs until they say tonight.
Best thing about tonight.
But for the most part, this checks out. Now, there was just one thing this experiment was missing. A control. I started to wonder if the prevalence of these words was unique to emo music, or if these words were just as common in other genres. I had to run this experiment against a more general set of data to find out. But how? Good idea. But how far back should we go? Well, the oldest song on my list, Drink Deep by Rites of Spring, was released in 1985. Meanwhile, there were several songs on my list that were released just this year. So it only made sense to look at the Billboard charts from 1985 to 2025. I once again recruited the Lyrics Genius API and ran my analysis against the data to find that the top 10 words in the mainstream were
Wake me up before you go, go, I wanna get your freak on. These beautiful things that I've got. Baby, I don't wanna know.
Now, some words were expectedly shared between emo and the mainstream. No surprise whatsoever that love showed up on both lists. The words that were unique to the mainstream top 10 were
I want it that way. Hit me, baby, one more time. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. These beautiful things that I've got.
Meanwhile, the words that were unique to the emo top 10 were
Never fade away.
Now, this wasn't quite a dramatic a difference as I was expecting, but it still highlights the overall fact that emo music is sad. Lots of heavy words like time, never, and away, while more poppy words like yeah, baby, and wanna are expectedly absent. I find it particularly interesting how much the words want and wanna appear in the mainstream, given how they were nowhere near the top 10 in the emo genre. Perhaps emos are just too sad to want anything. So now that we have all of our data, it's time to determine emo music's favorite word once and for all. This was a bit tricky. If we were just going by rankings, the answer would be no. But that's a bit underwhelming. More importantly, it's not even unique to the emo top 10, and that disqualifies it in my opinion. So what should it be? Well, if we go back to the list of words unique to the emo top 10, the number one word is never. Never meant. Never again. Never mind. Meanwhile, the number two word was time. Time to let go. Time to move on. time to let this pass. So, which one is it? I guess we'll never know. Maybe another time.
I never time to let go. Never had the chance to call this like never let go. One more time. Never. It's time to say goodbye. Think it's time to say goodbye.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. I've always been a huge fan of emo music, and this was such a fun way to show my appreciation for the genre. If you enjoyed this video, please consider checking me out on Twitch, where I stream every Thursday and Sunday. Have a great day, y'all.
Thunder Fox.